This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Adam Cellini, and it is Tuesday, October 10th. Ray has the morning off. Thank you for joining us this morning. And it's time to head right over to ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi with our morning weather. John.
Mr. Cellini, sir, good to see you at this hour of the morning.
Hey, pleasure to be here, John.
Coffee's on. Everything is good.
That is a good thing.
Yes, indeed. We had 89 degrees yesterday as our daytime high temperature and a lot of humidity around, making it feel kind of sticky. Today, I don't think we have much of a rain chance. We had a few scattered showers around yesterday, helped cool things off for some folks, but I don't think we'll see a lot of that action today. Today, we are going to notice mostly a lot of sunshine and slightly lower relative humidity, slightly. Taking a look at the satellite view, you can see a few clouds kind of streaming by from time to time. Nothing really heavy, but they're out there, and none of them producing any rainfall at this hour. Titan radar is absolutely clean. The day planner holds for daytime highs again in the upper 80s to near 90, with only about a 10% chance of an afternoon shower. Back to you, Adam.
All right, thank you very much, John. Let's take a look at our first alert traffic right now. Everything looking clean up there in Bradenton. No accidents to report, and doesn't look like too many issues heading into Sarasota. Also, no accidents there to report. Interstate and east-west traffic moving well, all green. And in South Sarasota County, no accidents. North-south traffic on 41 and the interstate looking clean. Well, our top story this hour, wildfires continue to scorch both northern and southern parts of California. Fire officials say nearly 90,000 acres are ablaze, the flames fueled by strong winds. So far, the wildfires have killed at least 10 people or destroyed a couple more. We're going to actually go to a local story. Police in Bradenton taking a closer look at some of the city's most dangerous intersections, including many areas where pedestrians and bicyclists have been struck and at times even killed. ABC 7's Rick Adams has more on that story.
Crashes between cars and pedestrians and bicyclists have become an all-too-common sight at intersections like this in Bradenton. Antonio Murray lives near 9th Street West and 21st Avenue West, which is one of the most dangerous intersections in the city. He tells us 2 years ago his 16-year-old daughter was struck by a vehicle near the intersection. Luckily, she survived that crash.
She was crossing over to go to the bus stop, and she said she didn't see a car, and by the time she got on this side of the road, the car hit her, boom, flipped over the hood, what have you. And it's just unsafe.
Police say the four most dangerous intersections in Bradenton are Manatee Avenue West and 9th Street West, 9th Street West and 21st Avenue West, Manatee Avenue West and 43rd Street West, and 1st Street and 13th Avenue. Jay Thacker owns the Express Food Mart at the corner of 9th Street West and 21st Avenue West. He says the intersection near his store isn't safe.
So far I saw like 2 accidents, one with the bike and one was like with the car to car.
In Manatee County alone, there were 13 pedestrians and 2 bicyclists killed last year, which is slightly down from the previous year. Bradenton police will once again have officers positioned at the most dangerous intersections, educating folks and at times ticketing pedestrians, bicyclists, and drivers who break the law. It's all thanks to a grant they'll be receiving from the University of South Florida Center for Transportation Research. Murray says having the police keeping an eye on the dangerous intersections is a good thing, but he believes a lot more can be done to keep folks safe.
A signal would be proper in this area right here, 4-way or light.
In Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And some of the region's top professionals will be educating and preparing the next generation of workers in our area later today. The 4th annual State of Jobs Conference will start at 8:30 this morning at Roberts Arena. 850 high school students from Manatee and Sarasota counties will be attending. Each student has chosen an industry track where they will participate in sessions with some local experts. Speakers will present different career paths, including healthcare, information technology, business, engineering, hospitality, and arts. The goal of this conference is to help students prepare for their future, provide some insight into what area employers are looking for as well in college prep. Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says it is already seeing results from its new narcotics initiative. Since the Sheriff's Office launched that initiative in June, detectives have arrested 11 people. It's part of the department's ongoing effort to combat the drug problem by identifying dealers, infiltrating their networks, and ultimately taking deadly drugs off the streets in Sarasota County. They're specifically going after those distributing heroin, fentanyl, carfentanil, meth, morphine, and cocaine. Since 2015, detectives have investigated more than 400 opioid and heroin-related overdoses, including 32 opioid-related deaths in 2017 alone. A man is charged with video voyeurism after police say he set up cameras and microphones inside one of his vacation rental properties out on Longboat Key. Detectives say Wayne Nat recorded at least one couple without their knowledge, capturing video of a man who was not wearing clothes. Nat told police the tenants knew the cameras were there to record sexual activity. He denied turning the cameras on without their consent. Airbnb has banned Nat from renting through the website and is supporting the affected guests. The company said in a statement, quote, "Our team has reached out to local law enforcement to aid them with their investigation of this egregious offense, and we hope justice is served. We take privacy issues extremely seriously and have a zero-tolerance policy against this behavior." After the mass shooting in Las Vegas, medical professionals on the Suncoast are working to educate people on first aid procedures. Different programs teach people the steps to keep somebody alive until first responders are able to arrive. According to the Florida Department of Health, rapid loss of 1 liter of blood can be fatal for an adult. The procedures can be used to stop bleeding, provide CPR, or handle other emergency situations.
Because even if it's not an active shooter, if you have a child and a child gets cut badly or has spurting blood, that's just as big of an emergency to that family as a mass shooting is for many, many people.
Sarasota Memorial Hospital will be rolling out free classes through the federal Stop the Bleed initiative later this fall. The program was founded following the shooting in Sandy Hook. Manatee County Commissioners recently approved 3 motions to help move along the cleaning process of vegetative debris after last month's hurricane. Trucks are already loading debris not only on public roads but private roads as well. ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo has more.
For one Bradenton neighborhood, they decided to get a handle on hurricane debris piling up on their street.
Neighbor and I got our chainsaw, came out here and helped all the neighbors. We had to cut up a bunch of branches and just helped them pile it, just so the neighborhood doesn't look like a mess.
Manatee County Utilities Public Affairs Liaison Amy Pilson says they're working around the clock cleaning up neighborhood streets.
We actually have over 40 trucks, and those are typically double trucks.
The trucks picking up debris 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., bringing it to 3 different locations in the county.
Then it's put through a grinder, and this is what is the result. We then will load this up and take it to a final debris site.
A site whose primary focus is recycling.
Use it for landfill cover or some other purpose, agricultural uses, such like that, but that it does not get just buried or burned.
And the mound that you see behind me is only a fraction of the more than 800,000 cubic yards of vegetative debris left by Hurricane Irma.
This is probably just under 5% of what we have estimated to be out in the community, and this is post-grinding, so you can imagine what the piles look like prior to processing.
And the fact that the county will now clean up debris on private roads, the $25 million price tag on this endeavor may go up.
That can, has a very large fluctuation gap depending on the amount that's out there, so that could add up, 3 to 6 million additional.
But Pilson says it's all about getting debris off the streets as soon as they can. The neighbors, who are also making an effort, believe in patience as well.
I know they're coming. I know they're busy. There's a lot of damage, I've been all over the county for work and everything, and I see piles everywhere. So I know they're coming. I'm not worried about it. It'll happen.
Dwayne Lindo, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Dwayne. The county also approved waiving tipping fees at the landfills. Residents can take their debris there from October 14th through the 22nd for processing. They still are not sure of a time where all those branches will be cleared. Well, happening today, the St. Armand's Business Improvement District is meeting to discuss the future of their proposed 500-space parking garage. The Sarasota City Commission already authorized up to $17.5 million in bond money for that project. City officials say it will repay those bonds using paid parking revenue and funds from a special assessment on St. Armand's property owners. The city hopes to begin construction on that garage in the spring. Today's meeting is open to the public and set to start at 8:30 a.m. at Sarasota City Hall. Despite Nate missing the U.S. entirely, there was still flooding here on the Suncoast. A busy intersection near Sarasota's Bayfront was flooded and could flood again. You can blame it on king tides when the sun and moon align just right, typically this time of year, and it's a lot worse when there is a hurricane in the Gulf.
It was really only about half a foot above where it was, like, say, a week ago across much of the Gulf Coast, but with the presence of Nate over the central Gulf, we had elevated water levels about an additional foot on top of that.
That tide is still just as high as it was over the weekend, but with Nate gone, so are the winds whipping that water up. And I know a lot of people were surprised to see flooding on the road without any rain coming down from the skies.
Yeah, coming up out of the storm sewer system.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not a good thing. You know, it's happening all over Miami these days. You know,
Really?
they're getting a lot of bad flooding down there. And, you know, you can blame king tides, you can blame hurricanes, but it's also got to be factored into the climate change and rising sea level tides. In fact, if you look at the tide gauges at places like Anna Maria Island, the tide gauges consistently run high because they're based on tides that occurred 20 years ago, and they haven't been updated quite yet. And so you can really see the effect of sea level rise on those tide gauge heights.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. We're looking at some changing weather over the next several days. We'll talk about that in a few.
All right, and still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, another First Alert traffic update, plus our own Linda Carson introduces us to some of the Suncoast's earliest settlers on this edition of A Place We Call Home. And coming up a little later in the hour, the latest on those California wildfires consuming the Golden State. Stay with us.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
Now, your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we've got some less humid air coming our way over the next several days, but you'd hardly know it by looking outside this morning and reading the gauges. We have a dew point value coming in at 76, which is really kind of humid for this time of year. A air temperature of 77, so only a degree warmer than the dew point, giving us a really large relative humidity coming in at 96%. Feels sticky outside. Even an east wind at 7 is not helping out quite yet, but as that wind shifts a little bit more to the northeast, I think we're going to see those dew point values drop a few degrees. Now, I don't think we'll see dew points in the 60s, but we will see dew points, I think, coming in over the next couple of days in the lower 70s, which will feel better than 76 degrees, no doubt about it. 77 in Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca, all coming in at 77. 78 degrees in Parrish and in Bradenton. Venice at 77, 78 degrees in Boca Grande, and Northport comes in at 76 degrees. So across the area, there's just no rain falling. We had some drier air kind of sneak its way into the atmosphere at mid and upper levels and kind of shut down the rain machine. We still have a slight chance at a shower later on today, but that's it. Just a really slight chance, only about 10% for an isolated shower to develop as we crank up a sea breeze and add a little daytime heating. But other than that, we're going to stay dry. I don't even think it's out of the question that we have no rain at all today. That's a possibility, certainly. With that drier air that has moved in, we have a few scattered showers over on the other coast possible with that onshore wind flow, but those showers are not going to make it across the peninsula into our area. So we have a frontal boundary located to the north, moving its way through parts of the northeast. Back behind it, another cold front, and this one is significantly cooler, dropping temperatures, well, about 10 to 15 degrees below average for this time of year over a large portion of the central United States. And then, of course, we still have that pocket of really warm temperatures and some breezy conditions as well for areas from San Francisco south toward Los Angeles. Now, tomorrow, the fire weather will be a little improved for Northern California, but still Southern California under the gun. For us, a big ridge of high pressure is our dominant weather feature, brings our winds out of the northeast, draws down some drier air, and lowers our humidity a smidge over the next several days. Mostly sunny skies, and relatively low rain chances for this time of year, and all that dry air can be seen on our water vapor imagery as this tan colorization to the imagery, and that's all moving right over the state of Florida. For us today, expect those winds shifting in the afternoon with the sea breeze west at about 10 knots. That'll bring us some pretty nice weather, light chop, 2 to 3 foot seas. And the First Alert weather forecast calling for little rain chance over the next several days, and then some little bit lower temperatures as we head into the weekend, but better rain chances as well. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, John. Let's take a look at First Alert traffic once again up in Bradenton. Still no accidents to report this morning around 5:15, just a couple minutes after. Down in Sarasota, no accidents to report there. Everything looking green, flowing smooth. And heading into South Sarasota County, things looking good. No accidents. North-south on US 41 and the interstate looking clear. Well, the fascinating history of the Suncoast's earliest citizens make it a great place to call home. Our Linda Carson brings us some of their stories.
Spirit voices that have been silent 100 years or so rise up and tell their stories of life in Manatee County in the late 1800s and early 1900s.
It was a very hard community to live in, but the people who lived here, they were very resourceful and they really worked hard to make a living.
Our tale starts at the Stevens home.
Will Stevens, he was a farmer, but he was also a tooth puller. So he would have people come and he kind of operated as a dentist out of the house.
The play Spirit Voices starts with the death of Stevens' young daughter.
It starts out with the funeral of Delia Stevens, who died in 1913, I believe, from appendicitis. They diagnosed it, shipped her to a hospital by train.
We gather at her funeral in the church that had its own tragic beginning in 1887.
In the fall of 1887, there was a yellow fever outbreak here, and the pastor who was sort of in charge and was the mastermind behind building this sanctuary. He was one of the first people in the area to get sick. And so they had to halt construction because there were so many people ill in the village.
From the funeral for the child, we go to the cemetery where the spirits step from behind the tombstones and tell their life stories.
This cemetery is the final resting place for many of Manatee County's early settlers.
The cemetery was started in 1850, and it was the first organized burying ground here in Manatee County.
Some pretty interesting characters reside here.
We have Captain Bunce, who is not sure whether he was a pirate or a fisherman.
You will see Farabah Jane Von Cooper, whose father was a Revolutionary War soldier, and here tales about his experience with the war and tales about her experience here in Manatee County.
And many more spirit voices will speak out, spirits whose legacy is with us still.
We've learned so much from them and how they've learned to combat the heat and the mosquitoes and how their resilience helped develop this community that we call home. Things would be very different for us today if it weren't for them.
Spirit Voices starts here in the old 1887 Methodist Church. It's on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, this weekend and next. This is the last year for it. It will tell you a story you will never forget. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Linda. A fun little historical way to maybe celebrate the Halloween month. We'll still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Streaming service Hulu has initiated a price cut just days after Amazon revealed a price hike. And coming up at 5:30, we'll have the latest on a Texas Tech cop who was shot and killed overnight. Stay with us, those stories and more when we come back.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows. SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Watch your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck.
Welcome back. It is 5:24 this morning, and there is a look at our Ringling Causeway over Sarasota. Looks like a lot of you still waking up, getting out of bed this morning. And remember that the 10th Street boat ramp nearby will not be open this week until Friday. Well, Walmart is putting in place a new high-tech way for customers to return items that it hopes will get that task done in under a minute. ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have the details in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Hulu's cheapest plan just got even cheaper a week after Netflix announced a price hike.
Hulu is slashing its monthly subscription with limited commercials to $5.99, down from $7.99.
but the offer only applies to new customers, and it's good for 1 year.
Take a look at Mark Zuckerberg using Facebook's new virtual reality platform in a live webcast. He and Facebook's head of virtual reality used Oculus Rift headsets to travel to Puerto Rico, to the moon, and even to Zuckerberg's own living room.
Facebook bought Oculus 3 years ago and launched the virtual reality app called Spaces in April. And Sony is reintroducing the Aibo.
It was pulled off the market in 2006 because of cutbacks, but reports say the new version will be more of a smart device than a pet robot.
Okay, so features will include artificial intelligence and internet connectivity.
Will it still bark?
Let's hope. Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Swiffer.
If you've got a life, you got a Swiffer.
What's new from Light and Fit? Greek non-fat yogurt with 0 artificial sweeteners. Real fruit and 90 calories. You'll be wowed. Try new Light and Fit with 0 artificial sweeteners.
Feel the power of TheraFlu Express Max. New power to fight back. TheraFlu's powerful new formula to defeat 7 cold and flu symptoms fast. So you can play on. TheraFlu Express Max. New power.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On Group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA has recently warned about an increased risk of leg and foot amputations associated with the use of certain diabetic medications such as Invokana and Invokamet. If you or a loved one took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation, ketoacidosis, kidney failure, or even death, call the Rely On Group now. We are here to help you get the justice you deserve. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-355-8205. That's 800-355-8205.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop head that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
The ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information when severe weather threatens the Suncoast. Visit mysuncoast.com and download yours today.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, wildfires continue to spread across California. We'll show you the latest. Plus, the Twitter feud between Corker and Trump continues. We'll have more on the words exchanged. And after so many hurricanes, we'll show you the numbers on how this hurricane season is ranking among the rest. Here's those stories and more coming up right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back to this 5:30 edition of Good Morning Suncoast. I'm Adam Cellini in for Ray Collins this morning, and right now we're going to take it right over to First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi. John, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Now, John, earlier you were making a dangerous prediction. It's October, it's Florida, but you're saying maybe leave the umbrella at home for a couple days?
Yeah, I think so. I think, well, at least for a couple of days, we have a lower than average relative humidity that's kind of worked its way into upper levels of the atmosphere, shut down the rain machine. So I don't think we're going to have money. Of course, you pay for that. You pay for the lack of rainfall by increasing the daytime high temperatures. So we'll be running well above average for at least a couple of days, probably temperatures close to the 90 mark or better for at least 2 or 3 days. And then we'll start to see the moisture return, rain showers return, and a little bit of a drop in our daytime highs. We'll talk about that in a second. A little bit of cloud cover across the area right now on satellite view. Nothing that's really heavy, nothing that's dropping rainfall. So morning commute should be rain-free and pretty nice start to the day. A little on the humid side, though. We have dew point values that are still in the mid-70s across the region. That's pretty warm for this time of year. Our daytime high tops out about 90, and our rain chance, gee, only at about 10%. So lots of sunshine around for you this afternoon. Adam?
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look at our roadways with our First Alert traffic watch. Bradenton, no accidents to report at this time. Traffic flowing smoothly through downtown and on the interstate. Down in Sarasota County, a little bit of a holdup. It looks like right there south of downtown Sarasota, but the interstate and US 41 moving smooth right now. And down in South County, no accidents down there either. So way to keep it safe this morning out there on the roads. Well, topping our news this morning, the latest on the California wildfires as more than a dozen continue to ravage the state. ABC's Arliette Sines has the latest.
California engulfed in a raging inferno from the north in Santa Rosa to down south in Anaheim. Intense wildfires scorching the state, nearly 90,000 acres incinerated. In Northern California, at least 1,500 structures, many of them homes, singed beyond recognition.
It looks like a bomb went off. Nothing left of, of these homes.
Residents sifting through the ashes for what remains. Northern California hospitals treating more than 150 people for smoke inhalation and fire-related injuries. The fires swept through shopping centers and mobile home parks. Some hospitals directly in the crosshairs, staff carefully evacuating patients on gurneys. Tens of thousands of residents like Jan Krieger evacuated, racing to save what they need.
I'm in shock, because this is your life.
And in Southern California, what started as a small brush fire in Anaheim exploding with high winds, charring 6,000 acres in a matter of hours. Flames sweeping through neighborhoods, burning homes to the ground. 1,000 firefighters on hand battling the flames.
Life is our primary focus here, and we need you to evacuate so that we can protect you.
5,000 homes evacuated, parents rushing to pick up children from schools. Plumes of smoke seen at nearby Angel Stadium and hovering above Disneyland.
Officials say there are more than 100 reports of people missing after these wildfires. Vice President Mike Pence is in California and says the federal government is ready to assist first responders. Arliette Sines, ABC News, Washington.
Well, a developing story overnight, a Texas Tech University freshman accused of killing a police officer on campus has been arrested. A school spokesman says, authorities were checking on the welfare of 19-year-old Hollis Daniels Monday night when they found drugs and drug paraphernalia in his room. Daniels was taken to the police station on the north side of campus for questioning. Investigators say at some point Daniels grabbed a gun and shot an officer in the head. That officer later pronounced dead. Daniels was briefly on the run, but was later apprehended by more police officers. We'll have more on this story as it continues to develop throughout the day. You can check right back here on ABC 7. Police now say the Las Vegas killer shot a Mandalay Bay security guard before he began firing onto the country music festival crowd in Las Vegas. Clark County Sheriff Joseph Lombardo says Jesus Campos was investigating an open door alarm on the 32nd floor when Stephen Paddock shot through that door and injured him. Police say that happened at about 9:59 p.m. on October 1st, changing investigators' original timeline.
Yes, the timeline associated with the original shot and Mr. Campos has changed through investigation. As I have conveyed to you from the very beginning, in your zest for information and my zest to ensure the public safety and the calming of their minds, is some things are going to change. Now, they are minute changes. Okay, there's not this all-encompassing answer associated with the information that we presented before. In other words, it's not completely inaccurate. But what we have learned is Mr. Campos was encountered by the suspect prior to his shooting to the outside world.
Previously, authorities had said Paddock started shooting from his Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino room around 10:05 p.m. and that he continued firing for about 10 or 11 minutes. Lombardo says authorities do not yet know what made Paddock stop shooting, and they have found no evidence showing that there might have been a second shooter. Therapy dogs are now being used to comfort Las Vegas shooting victims. 9 therapy dogs joined counselors from the Red Cross to help those victims on Monday. Officials say the animals are helping victims talk about what has happened to them. The trauma from that shooting is something that is likely to stay with them for life, but hopefully these animals can give them the confidence to speak about the incident and help start that healing process.
A parent, hours after the incident occurred, that we were going to need additional dogs to provide some of the crisis counseling and care that them and their handlers and along with crisis care specialists can provide.
The dogs are being rotated every Friday, and a new group will be arriving early next week. A top GOP senator engaged in a public feud with President Trump over the weekend, and it doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon. That flare-up between Senator Bob Corker and the president coming as Trump prepares to press Congress to advance his agenda. Sarah Murray has more.
You're going to see very soon.
Even for a president known for bucking his own party, Trump is kicking off the week with a remarkably public spat with a top GOP senator. And the senator isn't holding back either. Tennessee Republican Bob Corker turning to the New York Times to air his concerns about the president, saying Trump's Twitter threats toward other nations could put America on the path to World War III, and adding, "He concerns me. He would have to concern anyone who cares about our nation."
Pretty cool.
While Corker has acted as a Trump ally on Capitol Hill and was even under consideration to serve as Secretary of State, he hasn't shied away from criticizing the president either. Last week, while Trump feuded with his own Secretary of State, Corker came to Rex Tillerson's defense.
I think Secretary Tillerson, Secretary Mattis, and Chief of Staff Kelly are those people that help separate our country from chaos, and I support them very much.
The comment seemed to leave Trump stewing. He spent the weekend lobbing Twitter grenades at Corker, who recently announced he won't seek re-election. Trump tweeting, "Senator Bob Corker begged me to endorse him for re-election in Tennessee. I said no, and he dropped out and said he could not win without my endorsement." Adding, "Hence, I would fully expect Corker to be a negative voice and stand in the way of our great agenda. Didn't have the guts to run." Corker's chief of staff disputed Trump's account, saying the president actually asked Corker to reconsider his decision not to seek re-election and said he would have endorsed Corker. As for the senator, unburdened by the constraints of a re-election fight, he fired back at the president, tweeting, "It's a shame the White House has become an adult daycare center. Someone obviously missed their shift this morning." And he elaborated to the New York Times, saying, "I know for a fact that every single day at the White House, it's a situation of trying to contain him." As the feud played out, administration officials jumped to the president's defense.
We thank him for his service, but I find tweets like this to be incredibly irresponsible.
And one White House official tells CNN that Trump isn't finished with Corker yet. But other Republicans in Congress warned the president's firestorm against members of his own party could only jeopardize his agenda.
I don't think that airing
dirty laundry publicly is a good strategy. You know, going after a senator whose vote you're going to need on tax reform is not the best strategy.
Well, 2 women who lived in a Florida nursing home that lost air conditioning during Hurricane Irma are now dead, becoming the 13th and 14th fatalities linked to this specific home. 90-year-old Cecilia Franco and 95-year-old Francesca Andrade died from illnesses that they suffered while the nursing home lost power during Irma. The Hollywood police spokeswoman didn't say exactly when these victims died, but said police are treating those deaths as part of their criminal investigation. Franco's husband, who also lived at the home, died on September 13th. No one has yet been charged, but the state has suspended that home's license. Last week, the facility let go of 245 workers, including doctors, nurses, and therapists. Meanwhile, a third bill has now been filed in Tallahassee to try and make sure similar deaths do not happen again in the state. Republican Senator Rene Garcia filed a bill that would require nursing homes and assisted living facilities to have emergency power sources and fuel supplies that would last at least 4 days. Facilities could store generators and fuel at their facility or contract with companies that could provide those in a timely manner to meet that requirement. The bill would also require the Florida Public Service Commission to make sure utility companies restore electricity to medical facilities with 50 residents or more first.
Some nursing homes are very Medicaid heavy, and those are the ones that we as a state have to find the resources and the monies to make sure that we get them to that point so they can have the generators and the adequate cooling mechanisms to take care of them. And that's going to have to be incumbent upon the House and the Senate to work together to find those dollars to ensure that they have that available.
Separate legislation filed in the House last week also seeks to ensure power restoration for nursing homes and hospitals is a priority after hurricanes and other emergencies. Hurricane Nate marks the 9th hurricane of the season, officially making 2017 one of the busiest storm seasons on record. There have been 15 named storms so far this year, 5 of those turning into major hurricanes. Meteorologists with the National Weather Service attribute this active season to warmer water temperatures and the lack of wind shear. They say the warm water combined with favorable winds is the perfect recipe for a tropical storm.
It's certainly active, without a doubt, and for the United States in general, you know, we haven't had very many landfalling major hurricanes in the last decade, and we've had 3 this year.
Another tropical storm, Ophelia, has formed in the North Atlantic. However, it is expected to stay away from the U.S. It's like one every time these end, it's like you guys have another one coming our way.
Yeah, and Ophelia may be another hurricane before it's actually said and done. And it may move toward Great Britain, who knows, or Spain.
Prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
That's exactly right. We have some pleasant weather over the next several days. Talk about that in a sec.
All right, and still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest into the Suncoast First Alert traffic, plus some alternative ways to relieve your chronic back pain without having to resort to surgery. That's coming up next in Health Smart.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Normally in fall, we see that first little hint of drier, cooler weather show itself in the morning low temperatures, but that is certainly not the case right now. With 77 degrees, the air temperature outside, dew point comes in at 76, giving you 96% relative humidity. It's a warm, kind of sticky start to the day. 77 in Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca comes in at 76, Parrish at 77, 76 degrees in Northport as well, 77 in Venice, and in Bradenton at 78, Sarasota at 77 as well. Not much in the way of any kind of rainfall across the entire region. In fact, most of the state is dry today thanks to some drier air that's moved in aloft and kind of cut off the rain machine. We don't have a big chance of seeing rainfall really anywhere in the state today. It's going to be dry for several days in a row as that dry air is kind of locked in place in the form of this high pressure ridge which sits over the eastern seaboard. A couple areas of low pressure continue to produce the potential for some stronger storms today in and around Kansas City. Some heavier rain possible anywhere from these open plains into the Ohio Valley today. There could be some flooding rain showers there. And in the northern Rockies, the potential for a few more snow showers today as this colder air continues to sink southward behind this frontal boundary. Unfortunately, that front will never really make it into our area, lowering our temperatures all that much. We continue with this northeasterly wind flow, though, and that does draw down that drier air, help to reduce our rain chances a little bit. A little tropical wave out in the Atlantic will eventually work its way closer to us and provide us with better rain chances as we head into the weekend. Until then, we stay pretty dry. Mostly sunny skies, very low rain chances for several more days, and slightly lower relative humidities as well working their way into the forecast, with dew points going from the mid-60s, which is where they are now, into the into the mid-70s, which is where they are now, into the lower 70s as we head into the week. Ophelia, still way far away from the state of Florida, over 2,000 miles away, has no impact on our weather whatsoever, but it is of note that Ophelia, still a tropical storm with 50-mile-an-hour winds, is forecast to possibly gain in intensity a little bit as it drifts to the southeast and eventually becomes a Category 1 hurricane and headed off toward maybe Portugal or Spain as a Cat 1 or strong tropical storm. Northeast wind turning west at about 10 knots this afternoon. We'll look for daytime highs around the 90-degree mark with lots of sunshine for several days, then slightly wetter and slightly cooler as we head into the weekend. Back to you, Adam.
All right, thank you, John. We have another First Alert traffic update for you here. Let's start in Bradenton. Still no accidents early this morning, as I'm sure drivers are getting out there on the roads. Down in Sarasota County, North Sarasota around downtown, no accidents to report there, and traffic moving smooth. And down in South Sarasota County, still no accidents, and north-south traffic on 41 in the interstate looking clean. Well, in this hour's Health Smart, chronic back pain can be debilitating, with many victims turning to surgery for relief, but some doctors say there could be another way. Today, Kim Hutcherson explores how to relieve that pain without going under the knife.
Back pain is categorized as chronic when it lasts 3 months or longer. And while surgery may be necessary in some cases, doctors at Johns Hopkins say there are alternatives. Physical therapy can help with back pain. Patients learn better posture, gain flexibility, and core strength, all of which helps their condition improve. Yoga and meditation can help fight the emotional turmoil that comes from coping with chronic back pain. Mindfulness exercises can train your mind to not focus on the physical discomfort. Changes in your diet and other lifestyle modifications may also help relieve back pain. Other non-surgical options include massage and acupuncture, nerve ablations where nerves are destroyed to ease pain, and anti-inflammatory medications or muscle relaxants might help. Also, give up the smokes. Johns Hopkins says nicotine has been known to make pain worse and slow down the healing process. These tips may help you avoid surgery and the long recovery process. Remember to discuss any course of action with your doctor. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Well, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll update your local news headlines, plus a couple of special rings eventually finding their respective owners with some truly unexpected results. The full story coming up after this.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Do you have type 2 diabetes, which requires daily blood monitoring? If you have diabetes, are you on Medicare, Obamacare, or other health insurance? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for diabetic testing supplies at little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. Our accredited staff will handle all of your paperwork for free. And best of all, your diabetic testing supplies are shipped directly to your home for free. Call now to see if you qualify for a meter upgrade and a free pedometer to monitor your daily walking. Use alternate testing sites, a smaller blood sample, and even hear your results out loud. Will you qualify for diabetic testing supplies and an upgraded meter covered by Medicare, Obamacare, or health insurance at little to no out-of-pocket cost to you?
Find out for free by calling the Diabetes Resource Center at 1-800-394-1098. That's 1-800-394-1098, 1-800-394-1098.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye and over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation.
1-800-813-0109.
Watch your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck.
Welcome back. Here are some of the top stories we're following for you today. Dangerous intersections in Bradenton are proven to be a headache for law enforcement, including many areas where pedestrians and bicyclists have been struck and killed. Plus, the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says it's already seeing results from a new narcotics initiative. It's part of the department's ongoing effort to combat the drug problem by taking on dealers. And Manatee County commissioners recently approved 3 motions to help move along the cleaning process of the vegetative debris in the area after last month's hurricane. And finally this morning in Sadieville, Kentucky, 2 lost class rings found their way back home decades later, and the owners just happened to be married. Thanks to a complete stranger hundreds of miles away, Kathleen and Jeff Magsom were reunited with their college and high school class rings after a stranger found them in her mother's ex-husband's things and contacted the couple on social media. The husband and wife are puzzled as to how they ended up there, but don't really care. They're just glad to have those back and are able to pass them down someday. And if you had a hard time following that, we're working on a whiteboard diagram for you. We'll have a whole tree set up like detectives so you can understand exactly
charts are needed.
what was happening there.
Yeah, that was a confusing story. Weird series of improbable occurrences.
I'm sure the wedding ring is the most important, though, from the class ring.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Adorable.
Strange story. We have some pleasant weather coming up. We'll have details on that in just a moment or two.
All right, and plenty more news coming up at the 6 o'clock hour. Stick around with us.